Hello, and welcome to Reallusion Hints and Tips. How to use 3D blocks to create custom props. Many different items in everyday life are made up of simple shapes, most of which you can find represented inside of the Scene menu under the Props section in the 3D Blocks folders. When you begin to break down some of the most complex of these everyday items, they are oftentimes a combination of many simple shapes. Using simple texturing methods and applying custom diffuse maps to these items, then merging them in the Modify menu, you can create many different props to add to your scene or prop library. In this tutorial, you will learn how to create and texture a desktop computer with a mouse. These methods are achieved in 28 easy-to-follow steps. We can now go ahead and get started on creating your desktop computer. Step 1. Open iClone, use hotkey Control F7 to activate our character selection panel. Check the Temporarily Hide Character button, and then click the Close button. Go to Scene, Props, Template, 3D Blocks. Use the plus or minus button to activate all of the folders. Then locate and click on box number 2. Step 2, go to Modify, scroll down to find the Launch button located on the toolbar under the Generate UV and Map setting. Click Launch under Diffuse. This will open Photoshop. Step 3, in Photoshop, use hotkey Control plus O to open a new image. In this case, you'll need a reference image of a keyboard from the top. This image can be attained from a search engine by searching keyword keyboard. We already have our image saved, so we're going to open it now. You should find an image that looks something like this. The top view of a keyboard is going to work best in this case. If you don't find one, grab a digital camera and take a picture of the one you have in front of you. You now can use hotkey M to activate your marquee selection tool. Draw a box around the top portion of your keyboard with your rectangular marquee tool, and then use hotkey V to activate your Move tool. Click inside your selection and drag and drop onto your diffuse template. Step 4. Use hotkey Control plus T to transform your layer to the proper size. Move your new image layer to fit into place over the middle left rectangle. Then press Enter to apply. Step 5. In your layer palette, click on layer 1 and then drag it down to create a new layer icon. Drag the new layer to cover the middle right rectangle with your Move tool. A quick and easy way to do this is to hold Shift while clicking and dragging. Step 6. Go to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal to reverse the layer. Step 7. Use hotkey U to activate your custom shape tool, and then click and drag a box surrounding the top two smaller boxes. Then click on the Add a Layer Style icon from the bottom of the Layer palette to activate the Layer Style menu. Choose Gradient Overlay. The default settings will work fine for this. Go ahead and select OK. Step 8. Select the new shape layer and then drag it down to the Create a New Layer icon. Move the new shape down into position using your Move tool. Activate your Move tool with V. Click and drag to cover the two rectangles on the bottom of the diffuse template. Then use hotkey Ctrl+T to transform your new rectangle to completely cover both of the rectangles on the diffuse template. Step 9. Save your file in two different formats, bitmap and PSD formats, so you can use the PSD for a template to create other texture styles, bitmap for importation into iClone as your new diffuse map. Go to File, Save As, then be sure to name your new file to Keyboard Diffuse. So long as the name is changed, you can use whatever you like. Again, be sure to save it as both formats. Step 10. Return to iClone to import and apply your new texture. While still inside the Modify section, locate the File icon located to the top right of the Map Settings portion of the menu. Click on it to launch and open your new texture file. Use the Files of Type menu and then choose Bitmap Files. Then navigate to your saved folder. Double-click to select your file. Under the Adjust portion of the menu, set your scale coordinates to X 104, Y 100, and Z 19. This should shape your keyboard pad. We will now add a base. Step 12. Go back to Template, 3D Blocks, use the plus icon to view all folders, select the Capsule folder, and then double-click on Capsule 008. Step 13. Under Modify, set your move coordinates to 0, 6, 0. Then set your scale coordinates to x equals 63, y equals 67, and z equals 21. This should shape your keyboard base. Now click on the folder icon in the Diffuse section and navigate to the following path: My Computer, C Drive, Program Files, Reallusion, iClone, Template, iClone Template, Texture, iClone Diffuse, '08 Metal, and then select the Metal Scratch. Double-click to open. You can now move your base by going back to the Adjust portion and moving it up to 16. Step 14. Scroll down and under the UV Type section, select Box, and under the Align section, choose the Z coordinate and apply. As you can see, this has changed our UV layout for our Metal Scratch texture. Step 15, go to Template, Props, scroll down, and select TV. In step 16, go to Modify, and under the Adjust settings, set the move settings to 0, 13, 30, and then select the Lock XYZ button, and then set the X setting to equal 52. You should now have a general looking computer, complete with monitor and keyboard. All you need now is a mouse. Step 17, merge your 3 props into one new custom prop. Scroll up, and under the Props menu, select the top prop, in this case our box 002, then select the Merge button. Step 18, go to Custom, select a folder, then click on Add, name, and save your new prop. And press Enter to execute. Step 19, select Modify, again select the top prop in the list, and then click Remove 3 times, leaving only the merged prop. Step 20, select Template, 3D Blocks, Capsule, Capsule 005. Step 21, select Modify, scroll down, and then select Launch under the Diffuse portion of the menu. Use hotkey U to activate the Custom Shape tool once again. Then click and drag out a box over the upper right portion of the Diffuse template. Then go to the Add a New Layer Style icon at the bottom of the layer palette, click on that and choose gradient overlay once again. Once again, the default settings will be OK in this instance, so choose OK. Step 23. Click and drag your new shape layer down to the Create a New Layer icon 3 times. Then position and scale the 3 new layers in the following positions. This being the first. This being the second position. And this being the third. Step number 24. Double-click on the Gradient Overlay tab for the layer in the position of position number 3. Uncheck the Gradient Overlay tab in the Layer Style menu, and then check the Pattern Overlay tab. Highlight the actual bar, and then select the Tread Pattern menu and select OK. Then for the shape in the second position, double-click on the gradient layer, uncheck the gradient layer, check the pattern overlay layer, and select the pattern bar to activate the menu in the layer style menu. Select the very last pattern and then click OK. Step 25. Use hotkey U once again to activate the Shape tool. Then click and drag out a small rectangle and place it over the middle of the top right rectangle. Be sure this is a solid black shape. And be sure to place it at the top of your layer palette with no effects whatsoever. You now need to save your file as a bitmap. Go to File, Save As, navigate to your original folder, and save it both in bitmap and PSD formats. Be sure to rename your files. And now you're ready to move on. Step number 26, return to iClone to import and apply your new texture. While still inside the Modify section, locate the File icon located on the top right of the map setting portions of the menu. Click on it to launch and open your new texture. Use the Files of Type menu and select Bitmaps, and then navigate to your file. Double-click to activate. As you can see, we now have our mouse texture. Step number 27, under the Adjust portion of the menu, set Move Coordinates to 57, 16, 0, rotate 0, 0, 70. Be sure that your Lock XYZ box is checked, and set our x coordinates equal to 17. Step 28, go to Custom, select a folder or create a new one, then select the Add button. Name and save your file, selecting Enter to execute. You have now completed the creation of a brand new set of props using only custom blocks and default assets. If you have any other questions, please feel free to contact technical support.